Imagine this. You're in a relationship that looks perfect on the surface. The connection feels intense, perhaps even magical. There's something magnetic between you, as if fate conspired to bring you together. But deep within, a quiet whisper keeps surfacing. Something isn't fully right. Something feels off. And you can't quite name it. You wonder if you're overthinking. You question your intuition. You blame yourself or sometimes, the other person. But what if the issue isn't personal at all? What if it lies deeper, in a place most people never think to look, in the unconscious dynamics shaped by your past, your wounds, your unmet needs? The truth is, many of us don't know how to tell the difference between true love and a relationship that simply mirrors our emotional pain. But you're about to uncover that difference. You're about to awaken to something life-changing. Have you ever felt that soul-level pull towards someone? That cosmic, almost spiritual force that draws you in, making you feel like you've known them forever? Or maybe you've known the ache of giving your all to someone who never truly gave back. These moments aren't random. They're reflections. Clues. Mirrors revealing parts of your inner world you've long overlooked. Carl Jung, the legendary Swiss psychologist, offered profound insight into why we love the way we do. He taught that love is not just an emotion. It is a mirror, a reflection of what remains hidden within our unconscious mind. Through Jung's teachings, we begin to see love not just as something that happens to us, but as something that transforms us, if we're willing to look deeper. Real transformation begins when we realize that what we love in others is often what we long to reclaim in ourselves. And what we hate, reject, or fear in others often points to the shadows within us we have not yet faced. As you begin to heal those inner wounds, wounds of abandonment, rejection, betrayal, or unworthiness, you begin to vibrate differently. You stop attracting people who hurt you the way you've always been hurt. You start to attract people who mirror your healing, not your pain. Every relationship becomes a mirror. A portal. An opportunity to grow. When you're drawn to someone, it's often because they reflect something inside you, something awakened or still dormant. When someone triggers you or stirs discomfort, they're showing you the exact places in your soul that are still tender and unresolved. These aren't signs of failure. They're invitations. They're sacred messengers calling you home to yourself. Without even realizing it, we attract people who echo our most deeply held beliefs about love and worth. If, at your core, you believe you are not enough, you will find yourself in relationships where that belief gets confirmed, again and again. It's not punishment. It's a map. A blueprint showing you where your healing is calling. Love is the most powerful mirror of all. And as long as we continue to avoid our own reflection, we'll continue to seek love in ways that drain us, confuse us, or leave us broken. But when we choose to turn inward, when we decide to stop outsourcing our healing and begin integrating our fragmented parts, we rise into a higher vibration. This rising energy attracts different kinds of people. Healthier ones. Ones who meet you with openness, honesty, and presence. You start setting boundaries, not to protect yourself from love, but to protect the sacredness of your energy. You speak with vulnerability, not as a weakness, but as your deepest strength. You become someone who can both give and receive love with clarity, with power, and with peace. And the relationships you attract begin to reflect that transformation. Instead of using love to fill an inner void, you build relationships as sanctuaries of growth and mutual elevation. Instead of needing someone to complete you, you meet them from a place of fullness. Instead of chasing validation, you offer connection. This is the mirror of love that heals. And this mirror becomes even more powerful when we begin to understand the duality within us, the masculine and the feminine energies that shape our inner world. Carl Jung described this inner dance as the anima and animus. These are not about gender, but about energy. The anima represents the feminine within all people, intuition, emotional depth, receptivity, creativity, and connection. The animus embodies clarity, structure, action, discipline, and reason. When these two energies are out of balance within you, your outer relationships will reflect that imbalance. A person disconnected from their anima may chase emotional intensity through others. Someone who hasn't integrated their animus may struggle to make decisions, set boundaries, or stand in their truth. This imbalance leads to dependency. One person gives too much. The other takes without true reciprocity. And the cycle repeats. Not because of bad luck, but because your soul is sending a message: heal what is missing within you. When you begin to harmonize these energies, nurturing both your emotional wisdom and your inner strength, you create wholeness. And from that wholeness, you attract relationships that feel safe, empowering, and real. You stop looking for someone to complete you. You begin looking for someone who complements your completeness. Someone who doesn't drain you, but amplifies you. Integrating your inner masculine and feminine isn't about becoming bland or neutral. It's about recognizing the sacred gifts of each energy and honoring them both. The feminine teaches you how to feel, to trust your intuition, to create, to surrender. The masculine teaches you how to act, to speak your truth, to hold boundaries, to lead with purpose. When these energies work together within you, you no longer need someone to rescue you. You become your own healer, your own guide, your own home. And that's when your external relationships begin to match the inner love you've cultivated. Because here's the deeper truth: love thrives when we are at peace with ourselves. When we've made peace with our shadows. When we've stopped hiding behind masks. When we've said yes to the sacred work of individuation, the journey of becoming whole. This process isn't selfish. It's the most responsible thing you can do for your relationships. Without it, we project. We depend. We blame. We manipulate. We confuse loneliness with love and settle for connection that costs us our truth. But when we walk the path of individuation, we gain the clarity to recognize true love. Not fantasy. Not obsession. Not codependency. But real, alive, conscious love. Love that doesn't try to possess. Love that doesn't collapse under the weight of unmet needs. Love that lets you breathe, expand, evolve. And perhaps the most beautiful part of this journey is what happens when two whole people meet. They don't seek to merge in order to fill a void. They come together as travelers, each walking their own path, yet choosing to journey side by side. They hold space for one another's growth, mistakes, brilliance, and mystery. They don't shrink each other. They amplify each other. They don't escape the world together. They explore it, together. This is what love becomes when we've done the inner work. So ask yourself: what am I projecting onto others? Am I loving people as they are, or as I hope they'll be? Am I seeking someone to complete me, or am I inviting someone into my completeness? Because when you know who you are, you stop attracting what wounds you, and start attracting what mirrors your truth. You stop falling in love with illusions, and start loving from a place of depth, presence, and power. And that is the love that heals. That's the love that lasts. That's the love that liberates. There comes a moment in every journey when we must ask ourselves, what am I truly looking for in others? Is it companionship, validation, or something deeper, perhaps a hope that someone will fill the voids we secretly carry within us? These questions are uncomfortable, even painful, but they are the beginning of real healing. This kind of inner work isn't easy. It demands that you face your fears, your wounds, and the unspoken truth that no one else can complete you. But as hard as it is, it's also profoundly freeing. Because when you stop projecting, something incredible begins to happen. You start seeing people clearly. No longer do you idealize or condemn them. You simply accept them, as they are, with both their strengths and their limitations. And in that space, love becomes something purer. Something real. You're no longer loving from a place of need, fear, or desperation. You're loving from wholeness. You're not reaching for someone because you feel empty. but because you're full and choose to share your life with them. Love then stops being about possession and starts being about partnership. It's no longer about what someone else can do for you, but about what you can create together. This kind of love isn't afraid of conflict, it understands that growth often arises from discomfort. It doesn't run when the other person fails, it accepts that perfection is an illusion. Most powerfully, it's the kind of love that allows you to stop performing. You no longer feel the need to play a role or live up to impossible standards. Instead, you show up exactly as you are, with all your light and all your shadow. This is the love that transforms. It doesn't seek to change others, but walks beside them. It holds space for evolution. It knows that real connection is born not from fantasy, but from truth. So the next time your heart leaps at the idea of someone, pause. Breathe. Ask yourself gently, am I loving this person, or am I in love with an idea? Because true love is never about finding someone perfect. It's about learning how to love perfectly, with honesty, presence, and deep authenticity. True love is not just a connection between two people. It's a dialogue between souls, a sacred conversation that transcends words. It's a kind of resonance, a silent knowing, where two souls recognize each other on a level deeper than the physical or emotional. Sometimes, you meet someone and time seems to stand still. Maybe you dream about them. Maybe you feel a sudden knowing, a gentle pull. Carl Jung called these synchronicities, meaningful coincidences, signs from the universe guiding us gently along our path. Love often arrives with these subtle whispers, an unexpected message, a repeated dream, a feeling that refuses to go away. These aren't accidents. They are messages from the soul. And when we learn to listen, not just with our ears but with our entire being, we begin to understand what's truly unfolding. According to Jung, our dreams speak the language of the unconscious. They are symbols, mirrors, maps. So if you find yourself dreaming of someone again and again, don't ignore it. Don't take it literally, but do take it seriously. Your soul might be trying to show you something your mind cannot yet understand. Sometimes, love doesn't feel like fire, it feels like peace. Like home. Like returning to a place within yourself you didn't know you'd lost. The noise quiets when they're near. And when love shows up like this, it doesn't come with rush or urgency. It comes with truth. But not all soul dialogues feel gentle. Sometimes the soul speaks through heartbreak. Through loss. Through painful goodbyes. Even the endings are part of the love story. Because every love, whether it stays or leaves, has a lesson. A purpose. Every person who enters your life holds a mirror. Some reflect your light, your strength, your compassion, your joy. Others reflect your shadow. Your fears, your insecurities, your wounds. But both are sacred. Both are necessary. Because love isn't just about finding someone. It's about becoming someone. It's not a finish line, it's a path. A practice. A becoming. Imagine for a moment that every connection, no matter how short or long, is part of your soul's education. Some teach you about boundaries. Others about forgiveness. Some show you the parts of yourself that still need healing. Others remind you of your capacity to love deeply and wildly. And then there's the greatest teacher of all, the love you give yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you don't see your own worth, you'll spend your life looking for someone else to convince you of it. But no relationship can heal what you've abandoned in yourself. That is your work. That is your sacred responsibility. Love, real love, doesn't start when you meet another. It starts when you meet yourself. Carl Jung once said, "What you deny submits you. What you accept transforms you." That truth is everything when it comes to love. Because if you keep denying your needs, suppressing your truth, or chasing relationships that don't honor your soul, you'll keep repeating cycles that break you. But when you choose to accept all of you, your pain, your passion, your imperfections, you begin to radiate a different energy. You become magnetic to the kind of love that sees you, holds you, and grows with you. This is not a quick process. It's not some fantasy. It's a journey. One that asks for courage, vulnerability, and patience. So how do you begin? You start by aligning your thoughts. Your inner dialogue shapes your reality. If you tell yourself you're unworthy, you'll attract relationships that echo that belief. But if you start telling yourself the truth, that you are lovable, valuable, and enough, you create space for love to find you. You reconnect with your heart. Not the part that clings out of fear, but the part that remembers how to give and receive without losing itself. You forgive yourself. You practice compassion. You open your heart again. You nourish your spirit. Through stillness. Through gratitude. Through presence. And when your spirit rises, so does your vibration. You start attracting relationships that mirror your truth, not your wounds. And most of all, you become the love you wish to receive. You give what you long for. You respect, support, and uplift, not only others, but yourself. Because no one can pour from an empty cup. Fill yours first. With peace. With truth. With love. Then give from your overflow. And trust. Trust that the universe is listening. That when you align your heart, your mind, and your soul, love will come. Not when you chase it. But when you become it. You will no longer wonder where love is, because you'll realize, it's always been within you. So the next time you wonder why love hasn't found you, pause and remember this. Love is not something you chase. It's something you manifest. And the key to manifesting it is becoming it. When you become the best version of yourself, love recognizes you. The right person feels your energy and is drawn, not to your mask, but to your truth. That is the beginning of everything. So if this message resonated with you, if it stirred something deep in your heart, let it be the beginning of a new chapter. Leave a heart in the comments. Share this with someone who's forgotten their worth. Together, let us create a world where love is more conscious, more courageous, and more beautifully alive. Thank you for being here. Your heart matters. And the love you're looking for, it's already looking for you.